Doodlebud, not only do we have this solid titanium fountain pen that's good for writing, it could also potentially save your life. Let's show you how. Before we get started, I thought with this one, let's do a few glam shots. What we're looking at today, this is the Ensso Italia in titanium. Really cool pen. Now this is something that's definitely right up my kind of alley. The industrial makes me think of engineering and machining. Titanium, my eyebrow goes, oh, let's check this thing out. So picked one up. I got in contact with them. And, I paid for this pen myself. They did include some extra goodies for me. The little mini pocket pen I reviewed. I have some other ones that are coming too. So thanks again to Ensso for doing that too, so I can share some more stuff with you. But been using this pen for over a week now, and I got to say I really like it. I like the feel. I like the look. So let's run you through it. As you can tell, this is a solid titanium, so this has no coating, no finish. What you see is what you get. It's got some beautiful markings on here. There we are, zoomed in a little bit more. They call that a Greek key. Really nice little detail. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that is machined on there. So if you look with the loop, you can see the little swirls, tool paths from the cutter doing that. So really cool little detail that is also on the end of the section there as well. Same type of repeat. It's got some nice little grooves that are machined in throughout the pen for little details. As far as other fancy doodads on here, they're just sort of letting the material and the design speak for itself. So at the end, it's fully machined, comes to a little point. A clip is built into there as well. Pretty stiff clip. So if you like a soft springy one, it's not soft and springy, but it's pretty stiff clip, so you don't have to worry about that sucker bending. Does come up with a swoop as well, so easy clips over. Now you could potentially snag it on something. I haven't had that problem. I just thought I would mention that. Overall, really nice. There is way down there, tough with the lighting here, but there is a little plug at the bottom to help a little bit with sealing and stuff like that. So, air doesn't get in through there. Let's get on to the main body. I was a little worried with a metal section pen, but, with this type of finish on here, I'll get you in closer with the loop. To get you, here we go. That's not too bad of a focus. I just got my loop over my camera. But so you can see the Greek key. I don't know if you can see it, but you got to know what to look for. You can just see the little tool path marks there from the end mill that carve that out. And then here on the body, if I get the light just right, there you go. So you can see those tiny little grooves. That's just from the finishing pass on here on the pen. But I like it because that gives it that little tactile feel. So it's nice and smooth. It looks great visually on the outside, but those tiny little grooves on that finishing pass there gives it a nice little tactile feel, so it doesn't fall out of your hand. And it feels quite nice. So even that's well thought out. Great detail. Don't know if you could hear that, but all in all, what I'm trying to show you is it's got a little bit of grippiness to it. So it feels really comfortable. I haven't had any issues with it slipping in my hands at all. So really happy with that. Continuing on, same type of thing on the end here, little groove that's cut in and a point on the end. So, I made a claim at the start, it could also possibly save your life. And I thought, what a perfect thing. If you're in your car, and again, maybe I can test this, that would be quite the test, but if you needed to break a window to get out or someone was stuck in there, this is a solid piece of titanium. It's got that point, smash, you can break that window to escape or, get into it to save someone's life. Or, if push comes to shove and you don't have anything on you, you're not armed, and you need to get into it and throw down, I would put this in here and whack right in someone's forehead. That would hurt. So Again, don't try that at home. If it doesn't save your life, don't sue me. There's one pen that I would have with me that could potentially double as a weapon or life-saving device. I would go with this one every day of the week. Just thought I would show you. These are a couple of other pens I have with metal sections. So this is a Visconti Rembrandt. Beautiful pen, lovely nib, but you know, they chrome this one, and it can be a bit slick. So I like the pen, but it's not my favorite just because it is a little bit slippery, especially if it's summertime and you're hot and a little bit sweaty. The Diplomat Aero, very well made pen. I really enjoy it. Nice writer, but even though it is anodized, just the finish on it, it's pretty slick, and sort of the step down and the taper they got on there. You know, when I hold it, I do find it is pretty slick and kind of forces my fingers down. So for that reason, like, I love the pen, but I don't use it as much just for that. So this, as you can see, it's got a little more girth to the section there. It's pretty long. The threads don't interfere with that at all. But more importantly, it just has that grip to it. I don't have any issues with this whatsoever, and grippiness. Uncapping, it's just over 1 full turn here, so like 1 1/4 or so, and uncaps, goes back on fairly smooth. You got to be a little careful with the thread with starting it. If you're off a bit, it can potentially snag just a little bit at the start. I've gotten used to it, but that is one thing. It's just how this thread is cut here at the start. I was actually chatting with them and just said, oh, there's a little tweak, I think, that would fix that. But again, it's not terrible at all. It's just, you just got to watch a little bit with that. It is every now and then if you're not paying attention. That's kind of like the only flaw I found with the whole pen. The rest of the threads are fantastic. So the barrel to get access to here, cartridge converter. They do laser engrave the Ensso logo on there. So that's kind of a cool touch. Those threads are fantastic. Takes your standard international size. I think this one here is a Schmidt. I really like the Schmidt converter. So yeah, very happy with overall with the parts. It posts quite nicely as well. I thought, it's a decent length on its own. I could do with that, but posting it would sort of be nice. And I thought, well, maybe it doesn't post. It does post just fine. It doesn't it does back weight it a bit. Again, I got a pretty big hand, so it's still quite comfortable in the hand. So if I'm doing longer writing sessions, I like to post it. But for just quick things or forms I'm filling out, if it's not going to be too long, unposted is it's got some decent size to it as well. So it's a very comfortable pen. I've really been enjoying this. I've been using it for note taking during conference calls, filling out forms, doing quick drawings and all that. I've kind of used it in every way I would normally use a pen, even doing some little sketches and doodles with my daughter at bedtime. And I gotta say, it's passed the test flawlessly. Now, seeing as it's metal on metal, you got some coarse threads on here, and you got a smooth body. If certain noises bug you, the fingernails on a chalkboard, it's not that bad, but it does make a bit of a noise when you put it on. Let's hear this together here. So, if you're sensitive to that stuff, that might shoot a little tingle down your spine. It doesn't bother me, but for some folks, I could get it. I just thought I would bring that up. But all in all, my impressions with the pen, I like it. It's got a nice weight to it without being too over the top. You can't get any more durable and stronger than this. And you can sort of see in the lighting here, you can see the little color. Maybe it's a bit of a thin film effect that you get with titanium. One thing would be sort of cool is a titanium oxide finish. So there's a few ways you could do that to this pen. You could heat it up with a flame, and if you're good at controlling that, you can get some really cool colors on here as well. You can get like blues and pinks and yellows and purples and all that stuff as well. So that would be kind of cool. You can also do it with electrolysis and do it that way a little bit safer. You can pretty much take the full pen apart, so there's no plastic in it, although there is that slug at the bottom of the cap. So I would avoid flame if you wanted to do that yourself. And titanium oxide is pretty darn strong stuff, so that would be kind of cool. I don't know if that would wear off with the threads over time, but that would be one kind of cool thing. Or if you want to do that yourself with one of these pens, if you're daring enough. But yeah, I like the looks, I like the feel, I like the build quality. We're going to do a writing sample and wrap it up. For the writing sample, I'm using this Monteverde Jade Noir. This is kind of one of my favorite dark greens. I got 2 nibs. So I got the full-on titanium deal. So titanium nib, titanium pen. This is my first titanium nib. I thought that's a kind of a cool combo. But I also got the standard steel nib to go with this as well. So we'll do a quick writing sample. I'm not going to take a ton of time on this, just to do a quick sample here. This is the Italia. In here right now we got the Bach, titanium, and this is a fine nib. So this is my first titanium. I like the nib. It's very comfortable. It was absolutely perfect out of the box. One thing I thought, I hear people talk about is you get a little line variation. It feels kind of the same. Like, let me get you in here a little closer. Like, I don't see a ton, like it goes a little bit more, but just when I heard some people talk about it, like it was, a bouncy kind of partially flexy nib, not like a flex nib, but a little more to it. So, I don't know. It feels kind of standard to me, but I didn't get this because I wanted a nib like that. I just wanted to try titanium. And I got to tell you, I do like it. So what I'm going to do is just a quick little standard sample here, and then I'll put the steel one right up next to it. As far as wetness goes, plenty wet. It's a property of paper and ink, but nice and juicy. So if you like a juicy nib, this is really great. So as far as feel goes, now it's tough to describe it over a video. It's a, you got to feel it kind of thing. It feels really nice and smooth. It just has a different feedback sensation. And for me, it's quite pleasant. I like it. The steel is very nice, but I actually kind of prefer this just a touch more. Okay, did a hot swap there. We got the steel now. So now we got the same pen. It's the Ensso Italia. And now we got the standard Bach steel nib. This is also a fine. The focus is terrible. Gosh, this is the worst. Don't get a Samsung if you're planning to do videos. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. So this has a touch more bounce, but like these aren't flexy. They're fairly stiff and firm, which is totally fine. I'm going to do the steel one right above so we can get close to each other and attempt to focus. There we go. Very smooth on the steel nib as well. I'm not really trying to impress you with my writing today, obviously. And wetness, nice and wet, but just maybe not quite as wet. So let's just get you a little bit closer there and battling with this stupid phone. So you can see with my terrible quick writing job, the line width and everything there is pretty much identical. You can see, even as far as increasing it with pressure, how much width you get, it's so close to the same. But yeah, different feel, different sensation. The steel is very nice and smooth. So is the titanium. But yeah, the tactile feel, it's just a different sort of feedback with the titanium. I kind of like the feel of it. You may not like that, but either way, both nibs write wonderfully. Closing thoughts on the pen. For me, this is a pen I like. I could drop it, not that I plan to, and I don't have to worry about anything breaking. It might break the thing I drop it onto. Price. Okay, so normal price, depending when you're watching this video, whenever that is, man, is there a smoking deal going on with this thing. Regular price is $129 with the steel nib. Costs more if you upgrade to the titanium, so it is what it is. But if you go on right now, when I post this video, this sucker's on for $79, $80, and for a solid titanium metal pen is insane. I did have a discount code when I bought mine, but it wasn't that cheap. So damn, I should have waited a couple of weeks kind of thing. But wow. So I don't know what's going on, why there's such a discount right now. There's only, I think, 7 left. So if this is on your radar, I don't know what else you could possibly get that's a solid metal pen, let alone titanium, for that kind of price. Pretty good build quality. So even the regular price, $129, I think this is great. At that price, it is a smoking steal of a deal. And also, if you go onto their site the first time, it'll say, sign up for their mailing list and you get a 15% off on your first purchase. I don't know if that still works on top of that, because now we'd be talking, 80 minus 15%, so whatever, another $12 off, so like 68 potentially. Like that is absolutely bonkers. So if this has been on your radar, or maybe sort of on your radar, like that is a wicked Skookum deal. A few other metal pens here that are fairly popular I thought I would do a comparison with. So just for weight, just so you can have an idea, 47.5 or so, let's call it, for the titanium Ensso. We got, this is the Faber-Castell Emotion, 55.5, so lighter than that. That's aluminum. This is aluminum too, and the Diplomat Aero is at 42, so right in the mix there. Comparing the same pens for dimensional, for size, very similar. Again, you can check the Ensso site, and I'll see if I can do it on the description just to give the exact dimensions, but right in there. Let's uncap them, have a look. Here we are, caps off. You can see the Faber-Castell is a little bit shorter, and then the Ensso and the Diplomat are almost identical. So one little thing, let's get those out of here. Let's turn the gain up a little bit. So I don't know if that would bother you or not, but I kind of like that. I think that's sort of neat. So there we go. My final thoughts on the Ensso Italia titanium pen. If you like metal pens, stuff like that, if you enjoy the other ones I showed you there, this should be on your radar. And even if you just want a honey of a deal, wow, 7 left. So check that out. And even at their regular price, you know, you get a little discount code. I think the 15% if you sign up with them as well. So that's it for now. Check out their other stuff. Their pocket pen is like my surprise pen of the year. I've been very happy with their stuff. I got some more products from Ensso to review. Until then, we will catch you next time. So titanium, you know, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's a space age material. It's used in like aircraft a lot. It is a little trickier to machine for sure. Not as easy and forgiving as, say, aluminum or brass. You can be off a bit on your parameters and still have a great part. It's pretty forgiving. Titanium, not so much. There's a few properties with the material. I'm not going to get into all of them, but it does like to do something called work hardening. So especially if you're like drilling and stuff like that, if the tool's rubbing, if it's not like going into material, you have to be a little aggressive, sort of, so to speak. But if the tool's just sort of touching it, it will like to work harden, which then you're kind of toast. Kind of like stainless steel. If you ever drill into stainless steel, especially sheet metal, you just kind of got to give her with that drill. And you know, just engage the tool properly. Your inserts, you can use high-speed steel with something like this, though you're not going to do that. You want to use, carbide cutting bits, especially if you're using inserts. You want a coating on there. It does sometimes like to stick, like the chips like to stick. And that's another challenge with the material, is a lot of times when you're machining, you get heat in the part, obviously, from what you're doing, and you can, the heat can get dissipated through the chips when they come off. With titanium, the heat doesn't really transfer into the tip, into the chip, I should say. So you have to be, on it with your speeds and feeds, and definitely coolant is recommended to keep the part a little bit cooler as well. It can heat up pretty quick. And also too, if you got a tiny little fragment, little like super whisper chips coming off, those can actually ignite. So it's not like it's a crazy material, but you do have to be aware of things when you're machining titanium, and just sort of have all those parameters kind of dialed in pretty good to have a good quality part. And it seems like they've done a pretty good job of that here with this pen.